to the first video in a series called Growing with Willow. In this video, I'm going to quickly give you some insight into who I am, who Willow is, and what this video series is going to be about, and why I've decided to document this journey. So, my name is Sarah. I'm a 22-year-old who lives in the Niagara region, and I run an equine-inspired personal development program. Now, I realize that is a mouthful, but essentially, what it is I do is I bring people and horses together so they can learn from each other in a way that is mutually beneficial. I basically help horses and humans feel good, sharing horse sense with humans. And that is what I do. Anyone who is suffering from maybe something like depression, anxiety, a past trauma, or is just even looking for some leadership skills or better communication skills, I bring them to work with the horses and help them understand the insights the horses can give us to our own behavior through nonverbal communication and everything like that. So that is essentially what I do, and I've had a really tough time conveying what it is I do and being able to show it to people. So this video series is hopefully going to give a very visual way for people to see what it is I do and what my program is all about. Now, that brings me to the next point. Who is Willow? Well, Willow is a 5-year-old thoroughbred, and for anyone who is not familiar with horses, a thoroughbred is typically the breed of horse used in the racing industry, so they're the horses you see being raced around the track. And unfortunately, most thoroughbreds do not have great lives. The racing industry is a business. It is how much money can I make and how quickly can I do it. They're usually pushed along very quickly, and no one takes the time to listen to the horse. That's not to say there aren't some trainers out there who do, because I'm sure there are some fantastic race trainers as well. But essentially, Willow was going to be going down that road. She was bound for a racetrack trainer who was going to take her over and use her for racing. And basically, how Willow came into my life was just on a complete whim, just out of nowhere. The other girl I work with, her name happens to be Sarah as well. We were cleaning up the farm a little bit the one day, and she was just going through her phone and found an ad for a free thoroughbred on Kijiji. And she called the guy and just asked a little bit about the horse, and he had said she's not broke, she hasn't had much handling, she's pretty much sat in a field for the first 5 years of her life. Sarah and I went to go look at this horse later on in the day, and before we knew it, she was on the trailer and back at her farm. Originally, Willow was going to be Sarah's project, and she was going to just work with her and try to rehome her to someone. But the more I started seeing of this horse, the more I felt something. I felt something click, the exact same way I did when I got my first horse, Leah. And this feeling was so strong. The first day that Willow was at the farm, it took me an hour and a half to get near her, to get a halter on her, to bring her inside. And I felt like it was a good step for me in my own personal journey. And that brings me to what this video series is going to be about. Basically, it is going to document the journey that both Willow and myself are on as we work together. And the goal here is not to get a saddle on Willow as quickly as I can. It's not to have her leaping over jumps in a month. It is just to make her feel good in her own skin. And for me, just to give some insight into how working with a horse can really help our own personal development. So there's going to be some aspects of this as well that's very much me sharing about myself and where I am at on my personal journey. And that's the reason I've decided to film this portion of the video in a forest, because what more iconic place for growth than a forest? And how the video series is going to be structured is each video will typically have some clips of me working with Willow, and then a little round table like this of me kind of connecting, making the connection between what it is we did that day and how it relates to where I am at, or how it can really relate to any of us. And this video series, like I said, is not a training series. If that's what you're looking for, you might want to move on to something else. There are people in the equine industry, I'm sure, who are better trainers than me and can get results quicker, but that's not what this is about. This is about making a horse who has never had much connection with humans feel good. And myself feel good as well, because I am ready for that challenge. Now, without any more talk about this, I'm going to introduce you to Willow so you can meet her and kind of see what she looks like and see where she is at. And hopefully there will be many more videos like this to come.
See, I